Hey everybody, welcome back to No Jumper News. It's Adam22 here with your man AD. Let's get right into these stories. So Cardi B is receiving backlash on Twitter for contemplating dropping a large amount of money on a new purse. She tweeted, "Should I spend $88,000 for this damn purse? Oh my God, it's tempting." Her tweet received over 7,800 responses. Many fans dropped their Cash App names and asked her to pay them. Others immediately took offense to her tweet and reminded her that millions of people across the United States are unemployed and are struggling due to the coronavirus pandemic. At first, Cardi defended herself, pointing out how much she had already donated throughout the year. After going back and forth with her followers, she finally clapped back with a challenge, stating she would match her fans' charitable donations. She tweeted, "Okay, let's do this challenge. Since y'all want to tell me to donate so much, drop receipts on what you have donated to. I will match it and donate to an organization you have donated to as well. Let's start now." In another tweet, she added, "I already donated $2 million this year, and I'm doing something very special in another country that will be done with next year. What have you donated?" Okay, guys, I apologize. There, you happy? I don't see y'all asking Trump for an apology when he out here missing COVID meetings to play golf, but at this time it's still unclear if she actually bought the purse. Okay, so my sensibilities are offended by the concept of an $88,000 handbag, just like everybody else out on earth. But here's the thing, there's a couple things you need to keep in mind. To all the people who are complaining about this, number one, Cardi B is probably worth $10+ million. $88,000 purse ain't really moving the needle for her too much, so that's an important thing to remember. Also, the thing about an $88,000 purse is that it's probably never going to be worth less than $88,000. Like, I remember I was watching the Jeffree Star documentary that Shane Dawson did back in the day, maybe a year or two ago, and he had the craziest room full of designer purses, and then he just made the point of like, you know, I got all this money. Why am I not going to buy something like this that is going to appreciate in value? You know, you could have that money sitting in the bank, or you could invest in luxury goods that are going to go up in value over time. So from Cardi B's perspective, it doesn't seem like a big deal. I get that her fans are offended by the notion of a purse costing this much, but also I think it's like they should be more open about the fact that they have no ability to put themselves in her shoes. And if anything, I guess Cardi's just dealing with the fact that like the stuff that she's thinking about and doing in her life is not relatable to the people anymore.
It's her fucking money. I don't understand why people pocket watch all the time. Like, it doesn't, no one is sit there telling Bill Gates, oh, you should be doing this, or you should be doing this or doing that. It's like, you work, you get in the industry, you work hard, you reach the top of the ladder. You want to buy an $88,000 purse. You worked for it, you deserve that shit. No one should tell you anything other than that. And then two, she's gave millions of dollars to charities on top of that this year. So I don't see the problem or why everybody's upset.
Right. I think that Cardi is slowly learning a lesson that, like, when you look at the Kardashians and stuff, sometimes, like, you know, it's unbelievably obvious that they're super wealthy. But I think once you get to a certain level of wealth, you start to realize where I'm at is not relatable to the people out there, and the people are not going to understand these situations that I'm in. And I sometimes feel it too, where it's like, I'll be on the podcast and it's like, I don't want to mention my housekeeper, because to me, that's the kind of thing that makes me seem way different than the average person. Is like, oh, you have a nice house, so you have a housekeeper that takes care of it and stuff. The housekeeper is not that big a deal, but the $88,000 purse definitely is, in the sense that, you know, if you were talking about an $8,000 purse, nobody would care that much. Everybody knows you can go to the mall right now and buy an $8,000 Gucci purse. An $88,000 purse is only 10 or 11 times more than an $8,000 purse. And clearly Cardi B is a lot more than 10 times richer than me or anybody else watching this. So from that perspective, it's like, if she has 1,000 times more money than me, then realistically, she should be able to buy an $8 million purse, and it should seem the same as an $8,000 purse. Now, that being said, I totally understand why people kind of like flip out about the notion of it. But, you know, people should be willing to take a seat and sit and think for a little bit and realize, like, oh, this is, you know, she's dealing with problems at her price bracket, and that purse is never going to be worth less than what she bought it for. That's the main thing that I think is important here. It's like it's like buying diamonds or gold or some shit.
I was just going to say that, you know, like my dad used to buy Rolexes, and he would sit on them for 2 to 3 years, because certain ones, it doesn't lose its value. It only goes up. And if you want to sell that watch, you may buy the watch for $40,000. 2 years later, it may be worth 50, or it may be worth 60. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same exact thing, but people got to stop pocket watching, man. Get your own damn money You feel me?
What's a girl need to do for you to buy her an $88,000 purse?
For one, rock my world.
Rock my world. Like it's never been rocked before.
I'm talking about to the moon. Next story. Floyd Mayweather will officially fight Logan Paul next year. Floyd announced that he's returning to the ring in an exhibition match against Logan Paul. He confirmed the details of the long-rumored fight on social media. According to a post on Floyd's Instagram, the match is scheduled for February 20th, 2021 and will be available to watch on pay-per-view. Logan Paul previously fought vlogger KSI twice, with the first match ending in a draw and the second ending with KSI's victory. Last month, he called out Floyd Mayweather in an interview with TMZ, claiming he could easily beat Floyd in the fight. Floyd is undefeated with a record of 50-0 and is recognized as one of the greatest boxers of our time. He responded on Twitter saying, "These YouTube girls better find some Barbie dolls to play with because I'm not the one for the kid games. 3 years ago, a fighter from the UFC said my name and I had to put a muzzle on that bitch. At Logan Paul, he can get the same treatment before I go conquer Japan again." This announcement comes just a week after Logan Paul's brother, Jake Paul, knocked out former NBA player Nate Robinson. Yes, he did.
My reaction when I saw this bubbling up is, you know, I've been observing the UFC for many years now, and I've always seen how Dana White operates his operation, and it's like he constantly has opportunities where he could take a celebrity and put them in a UFC match against an actual UFC fighter, and the celebrity's going to get their ass beat. We've seen it done over and over. You know, Jose Canseco got chased around the ring by a fighter. You know, he put CM Punk in a fight, etc. And, you know, it's good times, but ultimately the UFC has built their brand name on serious fights that actually show us who is top tier in terms of MMA. It's pretty funny to see that boxing, which up until recently really kind of felt like it was slowly dying, is going in a completely opposite direction, where now they're setting up fights between like one of the greatest fighters, maybe the greatest fighter of all time, and then Logan Paul, who has yet to successfully win a boxing match. I fuck with you, Logan Paul. But, I mean, it's so clear that this is basically Logan Paul making the decision to get knocked around a bit, and as a result, he gets a bunch of money and a bunch more fame and attention. And apparently that's where the world is going these days.
I mean, just being on the card to see that is like, for Logan, it's like, that's dope. Like, I get to fight Mayweather, like the greatest of our time and stuff. And, you know, shout out to Jake. But Floyd about to whoop your brother ass.
Jake seemed like he was kind of crazy even just 6 months ago when we found out he was going to be fighting Nate Robinson, because we're all like, oh, Nate Robinson's a professional athlete, rah, rah, rah. Like Jake Paul might be biting off more than he can chew. Obviously, it didn't work out that way. Clearly, also, there's a very big difference between Nate Robinson and Floyd Mayweather.
Bro, they have Nate Robinson packs now, bro.
One of the Nate Robinson runs?
Yes, bro. They have packs of him laid out, and then I seen people with him laid out on their hats and stuff, bro.
Wow.
And then Jake Paul puts on his fucking jersey. I said, wow. But
I don't know if you're going to get this, but one of the best memes I saw was Nate Robinson laid out, and then they had the picture of Logan Paul from the Suicide Forest YouTube video where he filmed the dead body. They have like the picture of him in front of Nate Robinson.
They got him hanging?
Yeah, that's pretty funny. No, he's not hanging. That might be a little weird.
But Snoop has to do the commentary again. That made Jake Paul and Nate Robinson's fight so much better.
But if Snoop is gonna do that, I want him to not really like learn anything about Logan Paul. I want Logan Paul to kind of seem like a mystery to Snoop, because I think Snoop not really like giving a shit about it was a very, very important part of the whole dynamic. Yeah, man. That shit was dope though. And you know, I heard Snoop is just trying to like really get into doing this shit with the Lakers as well. And they should give it to him. Yeah, that'd be fire. Snoop is the kind of cultural icon that they should just give him any job he wants. Yeah. If he wants to work in the White House, man, get him in there. I seen him in I think it was a Miller Lite commercials now. What is that? Shit's funny as hell though. I don't really believe that Snoop Dogg's drinking a beer. Never mind a light beer. Snoop would drink a light beer. You think? I drink light beers every once in a while. Yeah? I don't know. I just don't see Snoop as the light beer kind of guy. We drink Trulies and what's it called all the time here. Yeah, but we're pretty fucked up. We're millennials. we're children and we're acting like it. Yeah. Okay, YouTubers, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see y'all real soon. Appreciate y'all.